say that we're probably starting to see a little bit of the light from the end of the tunnel. So in terms of the PMI, for example, we probably would be seeing that the numbers will improve a bit compared to the big sharp drop that we saw in April. And by the time of the May numbers hit the tape, I would say that the numbers will probably show some sequential improvement, given that the gradual lifting of the lockdown measures started about in the middle of last month, halfway. And at the same time, I would say that this is indeed a policy dilemma for policymakers. I think they need to make sure that the public health security is preserved, but at the same time, they're also worried about the potential downside on growth. In fact, we think that they are, they're probably not going to stay away from the zero COVID policy anytime soon. They're going to stick to it at least until the 20th Communist Party Congress. And at the same time, we think that they probably will need to make some changes to their existing economic policies to ensure that more stimulus is coming on the way. So we're saying that there is an impossible trinity. So if they're sticking to zero COVID policy and sticking to the growth target of 5.5% this year, the most likely thing that they're going to give up, the third condition, is basically deleveraging. So if they are about to roll out more measures to boost the credit expansion and make sure that more credit goes into infrastructure and properties market, we think there is increasingly more hope for stabilization.
The point you just make about them sticking to their GDP growth target of 5.5%. We did get to hear from Premier Li Keqiang last week. He gave a video conference to 100,000 government cadres, and that's pretty astounding, and saying that the GDP economic growth was likely to fall short of its target. What is your forecast for China's economic growth this year?
We currently forecast a 4.2% for our baseline case scenario, but we have admitted that there are increasingly more downside risk to this number, and therefore we have already been skewing more towards our bear case scenario, where we have the 2022 GDP growth forecast standing at 3.5%. So at the moment, I don't think that they have officially modified or revised their growth target of 5.5% yet. But I do think that policymakers understand that it is increasingly more challenging for them to reach this number without significant stimulus. And therefore, I think that the 10,000 or 100,000 people conference from last week, from that web-based meetings, I think it will only be a reminder that the policymakers are still trying their best. They still want to see that, for example, second quarter GDP growth to be positive, right?